Ebusuafo mi mo bibi akwaba eba MELODIES TV so. Say for people who listened to me yesterday, me mamoti asie say the special prosecutor ababeye press conference and the special prosecutor Walker say obetumi de nensesi ne bo aka say Ken Ofori Atta ye ka kromfo a oye number 1 ye ka kromfo a wode adwen ebu Ghana emra MPP ewa aban mu a oye number 1 na nini na eye deal bi a ye frɛ no SML na SML no ye company bi a special prosecutor no address Ken Ofori Atta e no hye ase ete company no na what a company no di Ghana sika omo mbojuma bia omo anya he ejuma Ghana Revenue Authority edin kan eye de dada no e na Ken Ofori Atta share that SML company no edi omo ni sika na Ken Ofori Atta share ejuma no say MPP free aban mu kra na 10 years after some people are saying say even the contract was up to 5 years but nini mechi no was share contract no say MPP free aban mu kra na every year obenya $100 million from that contract without doing any job. The special prosecutor no edi ababe tuja. Na me mamoti as a report na special prosecutor de ababe tuja no me babe kenkan atremo. And so this is the report. As you can see, 54-paged report right in front of me. We are going to go into the report, the very important side, especially Ken Ofori Atta side no. The special prosecutor ne kano. Na ye ni na ye hu de Ken Ofori Atta wo ye. Mesraw and your first timer. Subscribe and click the notification bell so we hear the latest news be about one sa ebeka answer now bet you bet to us on the message. This video is brought to you by your action plan for weight loss. Now your action plan for weight loss is a book bia say wa wutie me no say we fu esun ana say wonaya tatai ana say wa hondin akofom na wankasa we hu say wa hondin akofom na nte kakra bia na wa bra mesre me recommend this book we ama book we betre wonyama miensa na wo yesa nyama miensa na me ma latest by 1 month obehu senia wa brabo ebesesa ope book ni bia to a 0558074986 as you can see on your screen. Now quickly yenko insemnimo osi introduction. So this is the report, right? Osi OSP investigation report, SML introduction. Also, the Office of the Special Prosecutor presents this corruption and corruption-related investigation report on contractual arrangements involving Ministry of Finance, Ghana Revenue Authority, and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, SML. This report is founded on Sections 2 and 3 of the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, Act 959, and Regulation 31(1)G of the Office of the Special Prosecutor Operations Regulations. Now, goes on and all that. Now, also Ministry of Finance. Also, Ministry of Finance is one of the central management agencies of the public services of the Republic of Ghana. It is mandated to ensure effective and efficient macroeconomic and financial management of Ghana's economy. It is headed by the Minister of Finance. Now, also Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA. Also, GRA is a statutory authority with the responsibility of tax and customs administration of Ghana. It is headed by the Commissioner General. Now it goes on to Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. Also, SML is a private company limited by shares and incorporated in Ghana. It was originally incorporated on 14 February 2017 as Strategic Mobilization Enhancement Limited, right? Its stated principal activities are general trading and services and import and export of general goods. Its directors are Evans Edusei, Margaret Edusei, Esther Edusei, and Patrick Edusei. Its controlling mind and owner is Evans Edusei. By a special resolution and with the approval of the Registrar of Companies, the company's name was changed to Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited on 22nd November 2017. The directorship, beneficial ownership, and company structure remained the same after the change of name. And the Office of Special Prosecutor goes on to show the compliance. Or say, in a written compliance dated 18 December 2023 and addressed to the Special Prosecutor by Evans Azemo Mensah, Adjoa Adobia Owusu, and Manasseh Azori Awuni, journalists with the Fourth Estate, a non-profit investigative journalism project of Media Foundation for West Africa, the complainants petitioned the OSP to investigate contracts between MOF, GRA, and SML for possible corruption and a breach of the Public Procurement Act. Intina etre the amount was no special prosecutor no krano or she has yes all in semnimu na eno no mama mwati asese the fourth estate and as that time Manase Azori or investigative journalist of ye juma ewo ho na Manase Azori ene nkrofo no ene petition the special prosecutor say one hwe semnimu na or say OSP prelims investigation preliminary investigations, right? Or say the special prosecutor, upon determining that the complaint was within the mandate of the office of the special prosecutor, promptly authorized relevant officials of the OSP to commence preliminary investigation into the matter in accordance with Regulation 51B of LI 2374. The preliminary investigation was conducted with as little intrusion into the privacy of individuals and the business operations of corporate entities as the circumstances permitted. Now, presidential intervention. As following extensive media coverage on what had become known as the SML scandal, the President of the Republic, by a letter dated 29 December 2023, appointed KPMG, Ghana, KPMG, an audit, tax and advisory services firm, to audit within 2 weeks the transaction between GRA and SML. We all know this part of the story as well. And so at this point, the special prosecutor is telling us the AC your petition no or shall see a investigation by investigation nekrano when to me and do baby because that time no now say well only men people are buying was about to mean kind of sad but no Ghana for eba betete nsem no Emma President Akufo-Addo ebemu Emma President Akufo-Addo by order KPMG say KPMG enye auditing, and we all sat in this country, we all saw what happened during that time. No, now I want us to go to I don't want to treat the KPMG report because a old story. I want us to go to the new investigations OSP babe ya obabe hu say Ken Ofori Atta na oye mastermind oye kromfutechi amwa allegedly odi adie weyechi. Now see OSP full investigation. I say upon the conclusion of preliminary investigation and upon the reckoning that the facts and circumstances of the case reasonably indicated that an investigation may be conducted to prevent or prosecute corruption or a corruption-related offense, especially in light of the KPMG report, which the OSP incorporated into its preliminary investigation, the special prosecutor, in pursuance of regulations 51C and 61 of LI 2374, assigned the case to authorized officers of the OSP for a full investigation. And you'll see, our review of the KPMG report firmed up our opening of a full investigation on three main roles. First, the major factual findings in the KPMG report tallied with our preliminary findings. Second, the KPMG report, which, like our preliminary investigation, turned up more critical questions than answers, which required further investigation. Third, the KPMG audit work and outcome differed significantly from the OSP investigation and likely outcome. Also, while KPMG rightly identified the overall objective of its assignment as reviewing the work and activities of SML in relation to the contract with the state and assessing the propriety of procurement and contracting processes, as well as the appropriateness of cost-value analysis in the performance of the contract, the OSP's work in this case is a criminal corruption and corruption-related investigation of not just assessing the propriety and appropriateness of acts and activities in the context of SML contracts, but also examining the criminal culpability or otherwise of implicated persons. In two tier, I say yes, investigations are more full investigations, no, omo prelims investigations, no, and almost also the KPMG investigations, no. And omo ede build omo full investigations no. Now what KPMG investigations na no ni epesi ye hwe say contract no ebeboa Ghana na emboa Ghana. But wonu OSP ni investigations a wono ye no. Enye se wo be hwe say contract ni beboa Ghana na emboa Ghana. Ono ne de ne say omo a wo mo contract ni mu a wo mo abokro no ene ono nso wo ye. Also then again, while the OSP's preliminary findings accorded with the major factual findings in the KPMG report, the OSP found itself unable to agree with some major conclusions drawn by KPMG, especially in respect of accountability and value for money. OSP nature say, yes, KPMG reports now or yeah in some work. No OSP ni full investigation na why ni krano. Only KPMG nya adwen. Not say KPMG investigations no by under President Akufo-Addo. So apparently, as na ebia KPMG and friends KPMG for no. Now say because they were assigned by and Samuni Amobekaya around that time no. Some of us were even saying say why is it that President Akufo-Addo assigned KPMG? Because KPMG was a private company. It is a President Akufo-Addo assigned KPMG as a private company. And ya dia nakagana for Yebehun report. And I remember around that time, President Akufo-Addo in fact didn't want to release the report. Mekai pass that time no, President Akufo-Addo didn't want to. I think that it was some deal be that time na NDC for parliament because when you hang parliament no. And na omo as a deal be why yeti and it's a deal be na course so interna Akufo-Addo to me release this report no. But or just a KPMG for report in the kra no. In some no ne deep sin the KPMG kra eka. Inti omo disagree with KPMG e won sem no baby. Yet to us I was say the OSP conducted comprehensive interviews of 31 persons of interest in respect of the investigation. The identities of the interviewee are disclosed where necessary. Into OSP or say or investigating Crawford Bako 31. It was same way. Or see the OSP collaborated with several public institutions, including Ministry of Finance, Ghana Revenue Authority, National Security Secretariat, Ghana Police Service, National Intelligence Bureau, National Signals Bureau, Financial Intelligence Center, National Petroleum Authority, Petroleum Commission, Public Procurement Authority, and Office of the Registrar of Companies. The OSP also collaborated with several financial institutions. In augmentation of the expertise and skills of authorized officers of the OSP, the office also relied on expert opinion of persons in the revenue assurance setup, in transaction audit, external price verification, measurement audit of downstream petroleum, upstream petroleum audit, and measurement audit in the mineral sector. KPMG officers also assisted the OSP in the verification of KPMG's analysis and conclusions. The OSP investigation establishes that investigations are why establishments any enyama wo hu ye e full investigations nemo. There was no genuine need for contracting SML for the obligations it purported to perform, and that the contracts were secured for SML through self-serving official patronage, sponsorship, and promotion based on false and unverified claims. Say SML for na yede contract ni momo no na hu hia se yede contract no be momo. And I gave a perfect example yesterday, and I'm going to give that example again. Akwa say me amene mo ka say na me obi a me nim se ne painti dan na me ma fa paint a painti me dan yewie me painti dan ho awie o no chi ne bi me kokote ya me nua bi ana mebusu ni bi akwa kotua painter se painter no nso mbra embra me painti dan ne ho painter ne ba na painti dan ne ho awie enti painter na anya adwuma bia na nso painter no ese wo gi hu ska. Basically that is what we did with the SML. Enti me painti dan ne ho awie no na ye disika no ma eye the painter. Enti basically no OSP tremu said that's exactly what happened. Company no omo ya ade bia ni ehun hia ejuma no na ya ade a GRA ye deda. And we even established that in Manasseh Azori's expose. Se muni amhwe expose na people in the sector said say ejuma na yesi company ni ye no ye ni mompo ejuma no ebi mo ye ejuma ne kra deda. I said the SML contracts were attended by egregious statutory breaches as mandatory prior approvals were wantonly disregarded by relevant officials who acted with increased emboldened impunity. Sa deal ya ye sign ye eni ade bia na nke wo se esi na wo hwe sa ambre no bronika sa impunity a na MPP fo na wo mo sign deal no enim se ye bone no mo ye nanso no mo mfa ho because that time no mo nim se hwan na betumi aye mbibi. Me se Ghana fo wo ye koda ye nda nyame asese See, yenye papa krana, the fact that we voted the MPP out, no, papa kesiye. I said there was no established financial management system of monitoring and verification to ensure that the Republic was obtaining the value for the money it was paying to SML, and that the payment channels of payment to SML were set on automatic mode, discharged from actual performance, causing financial loss to the Republic. Yanya checks bien who ne say Encrophone cran de Jumano Omoye. Inti eno ane say Seni Americano which you be sika say Ombra be painti wo daimao. At least so be tian the sikane we anasa obe we painti we a kona kwa head and one head and one anya na sikane ye de mani pakrono every time near de mano. Meanwhile onye jumebia. I say the investigation outcomes are based on the following events and analysis. Intina ahase no ye betray the genesis of the whole thing. Do you see it? I say the genesis. On 27 January 2017, Kenneth Ofori Atta assumed office as the Minister of Finance of Ghana. He would serve in this position till 14 February 2024. Barely 3 weeks after Mr. Ofori Atta's assumption of office, SMEL was incorporated on 14 February 2017 by a timber merchant, Evans Edusei, with the company's stated principal activities as general trading and services and import and export of general goods. A little over 4 months after its incorporation, the Commissioner General of GRA, Emmanuel Kofi Inti, presented SMEL, a company he had barely heard of, to PPA seeking approval to sole source SMEL as a service provider for enhanced classification, valuation, and risk management platform in the customs setup. These events, the assumption of office by Mr. Ofori Atta, the incorporation of SMEL by Mr. Edusei, and the application for sole sourcing of SMEL by Mr. Inti seemed unrelated at first glance. However, a closer look at subsequent events from June 2017 to 14 February 2024, when Mr. Ofori Atta's tenure ended, show a tightly knit and non-coincidental association of the prior identified event as the precursors of masterful and mischievously crafted scheme designed by Mr. Ofori Atta immediately upon assumption of office and throughout his tenure as the chief promoter, patron, and sponsor of the company, and previously unseen power that unlawfully force-fed the company into the revenue assurance drive of GRA through a series of reckless decision-making and management and flagrant violation of statutes, though the use of public office for profit contrary to sections 179C of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, and by directly and indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain an unfair advantage in the award of procurement contracts to the company contrary to Section 92(2)(b) of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663, with the plans and avaricious, Bronica say avaricious, not to say, I say, enibre boni, sikenibre boni. I think that's the meaning of avaricious, right? Sikenibre boni. I say, enibre boni ni sikeni, extreme greed. Extreme greed. And na Bronica no avaricious. Avaricious unquestioning compliance of 2 successive GRA Commissioner Generals, who he kept at a slavish subservience, leading to colossal financial loss to the Republic. Now, we share points 32 alone of the report. Now, it tells you, say, special prosecutor Nekrano, the war cano. Not to say, Utien Semwa war can fucking for Yata who and Yasem Kitwa. But so say, first, the deal no shas, no. Now say, company no, I say, ye name company no. Because you see, company ne timber company. And Uncrophobia ne leader mobile PPA. It's what in a child who say who name company no. Now so we investigation now come ube who say Ken Ofori Atta no she tria kronu win in our directive. Not to say Ken Ofori Atta crown or suma say mo de mon kwate company bi say company na mo ate no mo mfa nko ha. Hey, we'll say GRA boss fako PPA or no teenage here as a all directive adie no. Now so o hwa ade animu a unhu se Ken Ofori Atta ne din wom na so no no ti na echi a wo control bibia na enibre bone sike nibre bone ena Ken Ofori Atta wo de yes ade enti na GR bosses ni na omo hye na se. I say by December 2024, SML had been paid a total amount of 1,436,249,828 cedis, 53 pesos. By December 2024, NASA company way sika pudo omo agye free Ghana for 1.4 billion. Ken Ofori Atta 1.4 billion. I say the OSP investigation also showed that the company was incorporated for the sole purpose of employing it as a vehicle to ride on official patronage and sponsorship erected on false and contrived acclaim and attributes for the award of public procurement contracts in the revenue assurance setup. And so, it goes on and it goes on, and this is the entire report showing us what happened, and at the end of the day, Nini Nechi Kokowie say Ken Ofori Atta ho 1.4 billion ekokopie won nsem. Etiefo. Won't try your comment box ni why. Medasi.